Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Get Ready With Me week. Every day this week I'm going to be getting ready for something different because in reality I get ready for nothing. Yesterday's video was all about job interviews. I showed you my drugstore job interview makeup tutorial and chatted my way through some of my kind of more interesting and some funny and bad job interviews. Today I'm going to be getting ready as if I'm going to a summer wedding, so let's go ahead and get started. Just going to prep my lips with the Too Faced Hangover Balm. For my base, I'm going to be using the Laneige Glowy Makeup Serum. This is my top primer for the moment. I love it so much. It's super lightweight, it's hydrating. I really love it. I'm going to take some steps to make sure that I'm not like oily and greasy, but I prefer to use this over like a mattifying base right now. My skin is not actually that oily, but I know that if it was like an outdoor wedding that I would be hot. So now that I have that down, I'm actually going to spray my face with a little bit of the Urban Decay All Nighter. It's a new bottle. Love a fresh bottle. Okay. Then, to help keep things in place all day, I'm going to use the Dr. Feelgood Silky Mattifying Powder from Benefit. I don't hear a lot of people talk about this. If you really love the Too Faced Peach Perfect and you're sad that it got discontinued, you're looking for another great fine mattifying powder, this is it. I don't like the packaging. I honestly kind of hate it, but the product is so good. It's cute, but it's just a little bit bulky. That's okay. I'm just gonna put this more or less all over my face. I'm putting it in with a sponge, not a lot of powder, but I really feel like this helps with oil control for me. I'm gonna put it all over my face, but I concentrated it mostly in the center. For my foundation today, I'm gonna use a combination of kind of some of my favorites. This is the Pat McGrath mixed with the NARS Soft Matte. The Pat McGrath I love because it has a beautiful skin-like finish. It's really natural looking on the skin. The NARS is more full coverage, but it gives a really flawless look without it making things look too like flat or matte. And they're just perfect. So I'm going to combine them. This is from Quo Beauty. It's a really cute collection. They collaborated with Priyanka from Canada's Drag Race, which is cool. But it's a little bit denser than a beauty blender, but it feels good. But yeah, for when it comes to combining foundations or even just like makeup in general, if you're going to be a guest at a wedding, I would, if you feel like it, practice, especially if you're going to be in the wedding. If you're going to combine a foundation or use something you wouldn't normally. I feel like the sponge is absorbing a little bit of product. I think I have more tan than I have in a while. I've been getting a lot of sun lately. I just sucked all the color out of my face. Whoops. Just did exactly what I told you not to. Okay, I'm taking the Wet n Wild Rose Primer Spray. A little bit of Indeed Labs Nano Blur. That's their kind of liquid bronzer. And just dabbing it lightly. I'm going to put it all over my face. Just to bring some life back. Then I'm going to take my Shiseido Synchro Skin Concealer. Got that under the eyes here. I'm gonna go like, it's gonna be a little bit more makeup than I normally wear, but I still want it to be and look and feel natural and light. Okay, so here I have the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand. I love this. It's pretty intense though. And I was a maid of honor for one of my best friend's weddings in 2018. So I'll link that video down below, but I did a tutorial on the actual makeup I wore that day and it held up really well and I loved that makeup, so I'll have that listed down below. Blending this out with my Sephora airbrush. Love this brush. Then I'm going to blend up my concealer with this brush from Quo. It is their Domed Buffer. I really like Quo Beauty brushes. I'm going to pat this out under my eyes. Just going to take the good old Real Technique setting brush. This is like a brush that I feel like I've stuck with the most consistently of all my brushes. Maybe minus that glam bag brush that I've had for like 10 years. Oh, did I even talk about my hair yet? You're like, what? Why is your hair straight? So earlier today I was filming actually for a hair straightening product that will be going up on my Instagram. So then I was like, I should do my wedding guest makeup today because this is like a little bit fancier hair than what I normally have. So I was using the L'Oreal Steam Pod. So that video will be going up on my Instagram in the coming week or so actually. So you'll see it in action there. But I would also wear my hair curly for a summer wedding too. I think that that's fun and fresh and youthful. But now that my hair is kind of down and a little bit different, I figured why not. So then to set my under eyes, I'm going to use the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder in Banana. Love it, love it, love it. If you were to get married like last year or this year, I would love to know what's going on. I have got a couple of friends who have had to postpone, and it just seems so stressful and everything's getting moved and so much uncertainty, and in what seems like an already stressful time to have that added extra bit, it's a lot on the go. Okay, using the Too Faced Born This Way multi-use complexion powder. Really good kind of do-it-all powder. I'm using a little bit heavier makeup than like what I want for the look, if that makes sense. Like a lot of the time I might reach for like my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush because I want things to look really natural, but I'm trying to keep in mind that this makeup will be on for a long time. Perhaps under a mask, things like that. I'm going to go ahead and bronze with the Hoola Caramel. This is the matte one. I really want to try the glowy one, but I don't want to try it right now because I don't know how it's going to go. I was actually thinking about using a kind of a glowier bronzer. Lots of bronzer. And a little bit in the center, on the nose, under the lip. Bronzy bronze. So for my eyes, I'm going to use a combination of the Anastasia Soft Glam. This feels like a wedding palette, I think is basically what they made this for. And then the Honey palette from ColourPop because I want to do a little pop of yellow. I don't think that's inappropriate, right? Just a little pop. Because I've got a mauvey dress picked out. I'm going to take burnt orange and rustic from this palette. I've got yellow shoes picked out, so I figured a little yellow might be nice. I really don't want it to look like I've got a lot of shadow on either. I'm picturing this to be like an afternoon to evening situation. That's what I'm imagining. On my lid, I'm going to take a little bit of this matte shade. I was going to go gold on the eyes, and now I might... Let's see. I want to put down a little bit of matte yellow, and I think I'm going to go with that. I think that's kind of fun and interesting, a little bit different than gold. It's like fun and summery, but it won't be like so colorful that it'll grab someone's attention from across the room. That's not the goal as a wedding guest, but in conversation and up closer it'll look, I think, really fresh and pretty. But I also don't want it to look too matchy-matchy with my shoes. But kind of a little matchy-matchy, actually. I'm gonna lean into it. Why not, right? I feel like matchy-matchy is actually kind of cool now. Benefit 24-hour brow setter. Popping that in the brows. I'm not gonna fill them in. For my lashes, I'm actually going to skip lash primer and just go straight in with the Lash Princess from Essence. This is the waterproof. It's one of the only waterproof mascaras that I actually like. I think the formula... Okay, sorry, my camera cut me off, but I was using the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara Waterproof. You can see it gives tons of length, tons of volume, super black. It's my favorite, I think my favorite waterproof mascara. Super affordable, and yeah, I find a lot of the time waterproof mascaras just, they don't look as good, and my lashes hold a curl well, so I don't ever really use them, only for vacation or if I know I'm gonna cry. So if I'm heading to a wedding, I will pick a waterproof. I think in my other video when I did my Maid of Honor makeup, I think I had a Dior waterproof, but this one will be a little easier on your wallet. Okay, so for my blush, I'm going to use the Sephora Collection blush. This is the, what do they call these? Matte Perfection Blush Duos. This one is in the shade Snapdragon. It's got 2 shades in here. I'm primarily going to grab the peachier one. I want to have like a really bright kind of peachy, let's see. This is a NARS blush brush that I just started testing out. I like it. I think it's for blush, right? 16 is the number. But it's got a nice density. Now for highlighter, I'm probably going to do, I've been loving, I can't stop using this, from Rare Beauty, the Outshine Illuminator. I've been loving it over powder. It's really, really pretty, even though it's a liquid. And it doesn't disturb things. I described it, I think in my monthly favorites, almost like a dry oil. But it's so pretty over powder. So I'm going to put this down. And I kind of put it all over my cheeks almost, like a topper. It just gives a beautiful natural glow. And then I'll still put a little highlighter. It's a wedding. Very beautiful, very natural. And then Rihanna, my little painter tape bay. This is the Kilowatt highlighter in Mean Money Hustla Baby. I don't know why I looked at the back of that as if like I didn't know that. I'm gonna use the glowier one and just kind of put it in the regular highlight areas. Ooh, my goodness. Combining the two is powerful, I forgot. Now I'm gonna spray this puppy down with some all-nighter. I even have a fan. The drama. The drama. The drama. The drama. This is what they do, right? And then, even though I just sprayed, I'm going to take just a tiny bit of that mattifying powder and put it just in the center of my face. I really feel like that doubling up does something. Breaking out my beloved Milani Brandy lip liner. Doesn't exist anymore. But if I was going to a wedding or something like that, I'd probably break it out, realistically. So, it's perfect shade. It has a little bit more burgundy in it, maybe, in comparison to BFF3 from ColourPop, my other favorite. That was kind of my replacement for Brandy, honestly. Brandy was the first, I think that shade was one of the first that I discovered the magic of lip liner. And then they discontinued it. I'm going to take this NARS Get It On Power Matte Lip Pigment right in the center. And from Cheekbone Beauty, I'm going to use their lip gloss in the shade Sundance, which so excited to see. Actually, I just saw on Instagram that they're going to be at Sephora Canada. It's a Canadian brand. It's an Indigenous owned brand. They give back to their community. Jen is the owner, and I think that that's honestly the news that we needed this week. I think it's also important in acknowledging Jen and her huge success with Cheekbone Beauty to mention just some kind of top of mind news that happened here in Canada this week. I say it happened in Canada, it's an ongoing thing, but they found the remains of 215 Indigenous children in BC at a residential school. If you're not familiar with the residential school program in Canada, it only ended in 1995, and essentially they removed these children from their homes to strip them of their culture and a number of abominations. So it's really upsetting to see these things and to feel shocked by it, because we shouldn't feel shocked by it. This is not new and re-traumatizing these people who have experienced it, because if it just ended in 95, this is not history. This is an ongoing thing, and it's horrible to see. I can only imagine and empathize as much as I can with the survivors of this and the generational trauma that has come from this. but I think it's important to talk about even in the middle of this video. There's never going to be the right time to talk about it. And I have a captive audience here, so I think that I just wanted to mention it. I'll list a podcast down below that was really informative to me, and I could consume it in a way that felt comfortable to me because I'm a podcast listener and it followed the same format that I'm used to, but it was incredibly educational. It's called Finding Cleo. There's 2 different seasons and I highly, highly, highly recommend that. But just some important Canadian news to kind of check in and remember that it's important to keep these things top of mind because it's a privilege to be shocked by this kind of news, I guess, essentially. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead now and get changed and show you my outfit. Okay, I have touched up my hair, I put my dress on and my shoes. Everything that I'm wearing I already own. This was just like an idea that I came up with and I was like, listen, I'm gonna just try and put together what I believe would be a good summer wedding outfit. And I would totally wear this, and I'm gonna wear this to something sometime. But my dress that I have is from Marshalls. I think it was like $15. My shoes were gifted from Aldo, I think maybe when I did the ET Canada stuff back in January. Most of my rings are all from Forever 21. This necklace was actually from Bumble and Bumble a long time ago. Or no, Origins. They came out with a honey mask. But this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to stay tuned for the rest of Get Ready With Me week. I'll be getting ready for a beach day. I have my first morning routine ever coming. But thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJNYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!